right now I'm obsessed with what is going on over on Bravo and the Valley, because they have had Jax Taylor on that reunion couch for every episode, and he is admitting to episodes of domestic violence and hardcore drug use that are terrifying. And
Mm.
Andy's sort of sitting there trying to give a glide path to keep Jax on the show, but Bravo had to cave to public outrage and fire him.
Mm.
I do think Andy would love to have him back at some point, but I'm curious as to, you've done a lot of housewives, you've worked with a lot of
Mhm.
housewives. What is your sense of the like what would you put Bravo on in terms of the darkness scale?
In terms of the darkness scale, I would say in 9 out of 10, maybe like a 90%, because there are people there that are like Luann, who I met, who I
Mhm.
loved, and she was so sweet. She made sure to even use my name, which something as small as that goes a long way in the
That
service
means a
industry.
lot. A lot of
It
them don't.
does.
A lot
Oh
of the
my,
celebrities, you're just like interchangeable to them, even though your
yeah.
job is to make them look the best they can possibly look.
Yeah, exactly. And so Luann, I hadn't done her actual full makeup. She was coming into People Magazine and I was doing the touch-ups. So she just came over to me and was so respectful and asked me how my day was going. And then you also have people like Ramona or Sonia, who it's the complete opposite. And I had such crazy experiences with them. Complete opposite. Very rude.
What's like your
Uh,
craziest Ramona story?
okay. All right. Well, I'm going to say this now for the first time. Uh,
A nerve
Based,
exclusive.
yeah, a nerve exclusive is that Ramona came in. She sat in my chair. She's talking a lot with Dorinda. They're talking about,
Mhm.
I think it was like setting someone up with her doctor. It was something like that was pointless that had nothing to do with whatever they were going on camera to talk about. So they're just there. She gives me her lipstick, her lip liner, her gloss, and she just kind of chucks them in my hand. She's like, do my lips. So I'm doing Ramona's lipstick, her lip liner. While she's talking, I'm trying to like, excuse me, excuse me. I'm like trying to get in there. I'm trying to ask her questions like, did you want me to do anything else? Like she'll look at me and then continue talking to Dorinda. So I'm like, I'm trying to like, it's my job here to make you look good and you're making it very hard for me. And then finally, when it was all done, I finished her lipstick. She says, I want apple slices. I need apple slices. So the producer runs over with apple slices. She shoves them in her mouth, completely messing up what I just did, chewing them, spitting them in the cup, and then she puts them down by my makeup, like on my makeup station. And so I walked out of the room. I was like, I'm not helping you anymore. Like she was ignoring me. She was talking over me. She was rude. And then as I was walking away, I heard her say, he didn't even do my lips. He didn't even do it. I'm like, that's all I was trying to do for the past 25 minutes. So, yeah, so that was probably the craziest story. And in the meantime, Sonia's in the background banging on a door, the bathroom, saying, talent needs the bathroom, talent needs the bathroom, get out, whoever's in there. Yeah,
Talent needs the bathroom.
talent needs the bathroom. And so I just
Talent.
feel like that's the kind of, and normal celebrities don't act like that. I've met Mandy Moore where I came out of a bathroom and almost tackled her by accident and she said sorry to me. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I was like, "Okay, Mandy Moore." Like that's
And you're
how
a
most
tall
celebrities.
guy, Tim.
Oh
You're
yeah,
like a big guy.
I'm a big guy. I have a deep voice, and I almost literally tackled this little Mandy Moore, and she was so sweet about it. And I feel like it's the celebrities who want to be what they think a big celebrity is when they think that that's how they're supposed to act, and it's kind of like no, that is what the D-list actors act like. That's not how the bigger actors act. They act with respect. I've worked with lots of actors. They're very respectful most of the time. So yeah.
Who would you say of the really big people you've done was somebody who just bowled you over with like being kind or respectful?
Well, my clients, I have a lot of great clients, so it's kind of hard to pick a one. I guess it was more of an experience I had. She's not a client of mine, but Paris Hilton, I met
Hmm.
in 2020, right before the world shut down. I was at People Magazine, and I had met Paris Hilton when I was 18 years old at a toy store in Vegas. It was at Caesar's Palace before Caesar's closed. And this was in 2009. And so I was in there shopping with my friend, and we saw Paris Hilton like bolt through us in her like black Juicy Couture, like velour tracksuit. And so she was very sweet. She said that she would take a photo with us. She was like, "Oh, come to the club." I was like, "I can't. I'm only 18." She was like, "Oh, that's not hot." But she was like so cute about it. And she was actually really sweet. And then fast forward now, 12 years later, I'm at People Magazine, or however many years later, 11 years later. And she sits down in my chair and I'm doing her makeup. And I'm just like, "I don't know if you remember this, but do you remember like a really tall boy that you met at a toy store in Vegas?" And she stood up and she was like, "Caesars?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she literally just embraced me, like full arms around my neck. Like I was just like, "Oh," like literally it was just the most amazing. And it meant a lot to me. Even if she didn't remember me, actually, it just meant a lot to me that she was so sweet and that she pretended to remember me. So that was really
Perhaps she
nice.
did. I mean, you are like a kind of, you are a very, impressive guy, and visually
Uh,
you are hard to forget.
oh, thank you.
But what if you could delay your next two mortgage payments and finally get a little breathing room? With American financing, that makes this idea possible. If you are feeling stretched by everyday expenses, groceries, gas, bills piling up, you are not alone. Most Americans are putting these expenses on credit cards, and there doesn't seem to be a way out for so many people. But American Financing can show you how to use your home's equity to pay off that debt. So call American Financing today before it gets to a point where those payments just become impossible. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are helping homeowners just like you restructure their loans and consolidate debt, all without upfront fees. And their customers are saving an average of $800 a month. That's like a $10,000 a year raise. It's fast, it's simple, and it could save your budget. So call now before it's too late. 866-885-1332. That's 866-885-1332, or visit americanfinancing.net/nerve.